Erik Ten Hag pushing Glazer family to release funds for January transfer window in urgent board meeting. Erik Ten Hag has urged his Manchester United board to release further funds for him in order to strengthen the squad in the January transfer window. The Dutchman spent around £220 million in the summer on the likes of Lisandro Martinez, Antony and Casemiro. United had planned on spending around £130 but Ten Hag successfully convinced the Glazers to release more funds after the club were beaten by Brighton and Brentford in their first two matches of the season. Those defeats led to the Glazers releasing a further £90 in funds to sign Antony from Ajax, as well as bankrolling the contract demanded by Casemiro. But though Ten Hag appreciated the club's decision to back him in the market, the Dutchman does not want to wait until next summer to continue his overhaul of the squad. If funds were unlimited, Ten Hag would have opted to sign a center forward and a right back in the window, but he felt he had to prioritize his targets. That's why the former Ajax manager opted to sign Antony, as well as being impressed by the form of Diogo Dalot. United's game against Leeds was postponed on Sunday following the death of Queen Elizabeth, and the side have a 2-week break before their next fixture against Manchester City because of the international break. Ten Hag confirmed after United's win against Sheriff that he will use the break to start looking ahead to the January transfer window. "It's very useful," said Ten Hag when he was asked about the time off. "We have many meetings. We have to improve the structures in and around the club. We will also look to the window in January or next summer already to improve our way of playing by making plans. Of course, periods after a game. But we have to be ready for that, and many players, let's say 90%, are away. But the others, we will train properly, and for the rest we have to prepare very well. I hope that everyone stays fit and return back healthy, and then we have to get into attack." In other news, Man United boss Erik Ten Hag handed boost ahead of Manchester Derby. Erik Ten Hag has been handed a boost ahead of the upcoming Manchester Derby, with Manchester United hopeful of having Marcus Rashford fit for the Premier League clash. United will play their first Premier League game in almost a month when they travel across Manchester to face Pep Guardiola's City on October 2nd. The Red Devils secured their fourth successive league win at the start of September, beating Premier League leaders Arsenal 3-1 at Old Trafford. But United's momentum has stalled since then, with their subsequent fixtures against Crystal Palace and Leeds United postponed following the death of Queen Elizabeth II. Manchester United lost their opening Europa League match of the season against Real Sociedad but bounced back last week with a 2-0 win over Sheriff Tiraspol. England forward Rashford missed both games after picking up a muscular injury in United's victory over Arsenal. Last week, the 24-year-old was left out of England's final squad before the Qatar World Cup. But ESPN say United's medical team do not believe Rashford's injury is serious and are confident he will be available for the Manchester Derby following the international break. Rashford had impressed before his injury setback, scoring 3 goals in 6 games. Discussing Rashford's fitness last week, Ten Hag said he's not available, a consequence after Arsenal. "He has a muscle injury. I don't think too long, but I don't know. It's not really bad. We expect him quite soon to be back in the team." England boss Gareth Southgate, meanwhile, says Rashford still has a chance of making his World Cup squad despite being omitted from the group last week. He said, "Although our results were disappointing in the summer, we have picked on the basis of form and capability over a long period. There were certain players we wanted to keep involved this time. But that said, it doesn't mean that this is the end for some of the others who aren't involved." Marcus Rashford, for example, has shown some encouraging signs recently. He is a player we know well, so if he can perform at a high level in the next few weeks, he of course will be under consideration. Rashford added on social media, in regards to England, "Every player wants to represent their country, and I'm no different. Unfortunately, I'm not ready yet as I've picked up an untimely injury." Manchester United's recent run has seen them climb to 5th in the Premier League. Ten Hag's side have a game in hand over most of their top 4 rivals. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like and make sure to subscribe to Man United Hub to get all the latest updates.